I say that dumb is undefeated against dumber in football because it's just a dumb sport. Have you ever watched a football game where neither team should have won? I think failure to attract talent in football is the #1 reason why you get beat these days. It used to be that talent showed up in football, not anymore. Concussions. I think teams that lose have a hard time getting kids out. So you better, once you start feeding the cats, coach, your numbers went from?
We were 1-9 for the last 2 years and went to 8-3 this year.
1-9,
We're probably going to have about 70 kids come out for track and probably about 50 kids next year. And we're 1A school.
1A school?
Yeah.
So your numbers are through the roof?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good reason to feed the guys. You get beat by turnovers. Coaches always want to say, oh, we're soft. Maybe it's the 2 fumbles and the interception. Penalties get you beat. Maybe the 10 penalties had something to do. Maybe you don't need to run more gassers. Stop holding. Stupidity gets you. I looked up stupid football player in that picture. So I used it. Injuries get you beat. Oh, by the way, old school football, 2 or 3 times the injury rate of Feed the Cats football. Feed the Cats, my good friend Brad Dixon's team is undefeated going into their game today. And they don't have a single kid on their roster not suiting up today.
That's what I forgot to tell you last night. We barely had any injuries this year at all.
Think about it. Injuries get you beat. I've witnessed games at Plainfield North where we had 15 kids on the sideline without pads, jersey, jeans. 15 kids didn't survive. This is like game 4. That's unacceptable. It almost should be criminal. Big plays get you beat. Have you ever seen that? The lesser team won because they ran back a kickoff and intercepted a pick 6. But coaches, man, they just, if you don't follow Brad Dixon, do it. He'll send you stuff. I'll hurry through that slide. Herm got fired, thank God, he's terrible.
You don't get a lot of sleep. You can't sleep, you're always thinking of stuff. At night, and you wake up, and you just wake up and you start writing things down, and that's the life of a coach.
Yeah, he probably should have slept more. Think about it. But I got this clip off of Twitter. I think it hit like 9,000 likes. Coaches all over America. They're like, I love that. I love it. Stop it. Just stop.
You don't get a lot.
Read the book Go Wild. It talks about you got to live an outdoor life. Have you ever heard there's no fat 80-year-olds? It's a deep statement. Really deep. We all need to work at being as lean as we can be. Funny story, I showed our football coach 15 years ago what we were going to do with speed training and X Factor training. And he goes, oh my God, I love it. Are you going to do it with all the kids? I go, all of them. Every single kid. He goes, oh man, we're going to make it mandatory. I go, no, we're not. We're going to make it so much fun. They want to come. He goes, okay, but if they don't, by God, we're going to make it mandatory. Is that like the ultimate football coach? I mean, if they don't come, we're going. This is a story I was told. Supposedly Spurrier was playing in a 6:30 ESPN game back in Florida, and he had a coaches meeting scheduled for 7 a.m. earlier than normal. And the coach is like, "What the hell?" You know. They show up and they get in a van. They go. They drive to the ocean, and they're in inner tubes for 3 hours in the sun. And Spurrier says, I wonder what those poor son of a bitches at Alabama are doing today. Is there anything that would be better than relaxing on the day of a game. But you know football coaches, don't you? They're like overdosing on caffeine early. They want that feeling of head banging against a wall and stuff. Dan Casey, I love this statement. He wrote me this. He said, I'm going to be coaching for the rest of my life, so I don't want to burn out before 30. I get a lot of judgmental looks from coaching friends who are grinders. I was a grinder my whole playing career. I love football. This gets powerful, almost emotional for me. But I wish the season away by late October. I vowed if I coached, my guys would never wish a season away. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt like, I wish we would have won, but thank God it's over? If you feel that way, I wonder what the kids feel. They won't tell you that because they've been trained to tell you what you want them to say. But that's not what's in their heart. What's in their heart is they're wishing the season away. And I think this is just looking at ourselves in the mirror and seeing what's real. If Brad Dixon's team gets beat today, there will be heartfelt, it's going to be hard for those kids because they don't have next week. They'll be crying as much for not having next week as they are because they lost. That whole thing about not wishing a season away is why I feel younger in my 42nd year of coaching than I felt in my 10th because I've changed. It's more doable. It's amazing. In track last year, we only had 1 week where we did not have a 4-day work week. 3 green days means off. Not like a light practice, no. Like only 4 days a week did we do track and field over a 19-week season. And you never get tired. It never gets to be a grind. Like 20 years from now, I think it'll probably be a 3-day work week for me, or a 2. It's not going to go the other direction because it's the fountain of youth and it's the fountain of enthusiasm for kids. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to talk about RPR in here next. Sorry I talked so long. Thank you.